So, all right.
Here we go.
So, did you talk about next?
I talked about next month, August 18th. We don't have a topic yet.
Sure. If anybody has an idea what we would like to talk about, or you would like to hear about, please speak up and let us know. I want to start out by, yes. Oh, that's a Motorola Edge.
Is that you, Ashley? So Ashley, your name comes up as Motorola Edge. All right,
I think she's frozen.
it's frozen. All right, move on.
So I just want to, we hired a new employee. Some of you have talked to her already. We're so impressed with her. And her name is Ashley. She's gonna be working primarily in Southwick and East Hampton. She's learned a lot very fast. She is very competent, and we want to welcome her. So Ashley, can you hear us? Okay, maybe we'll get back to it. So when she comes back on, it looked like she was frozen. When she comes back on, I'll introduce her and let her just say hello to everybody. I think when you meet her, you talk to her on the phone, you'll be very impressed. We have one employee that is leaving us in the end of August, and that's Taryn. She's decided to go a different direction, but she's staying until the end of August. So we're having some extra time to train Ashley, and that is helping out a lot, taking away some of the stress and everything. We're sorry to see her go, but sometimes people have other things that they want to do and different directions that they want to take. So we wish her all the very, very best, and thank her for her time at Alternative Health. Okay, so let's get started with exercise. Okay. First of all, I think exercise is sometimes we think of exercise as we have to go to a gym. We have to work out to the point where we have to sweat profusely. We have to do all those kind of things. And we want to kind of share some of the things that how to deal with friends and family. I feel like it is a struggle to be around it. I agree. We'll see. Okay. Somebody suggested talking about how to deal with friends and family. Okay. But so I believe that exercise, number one, is very important, very, very important. But I think that sometimes we get into exercise and we're not sure why. We're not sure why we're doing it. We're not the effectiveness of it, etc. I do not believe that we have to always be in the gym, and I don't think that we have to be married to the gym and the exercise. Okay. Exercise can come in many forms, and I wanted to start out with what exercises, different things that would be reasons why we're exercising. So basically, if we start out and we talk about exercise, we have to look at our goals. Why? Why do we want to exercise? And people might say, well, to be healthier or to be cardiovascular, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all good. But if we just go and exercise every day and do the same thing, sometimes it becomes redundant. We get bored with it. We don't see changes because we're not doing the things that we need to do. So I want to kind of go through this. Number one, if we're here to reduce body mass or size, okay, what do we need? We need cardio. Now, cardio means getting the heart rate up, burning calories. We need to cut calories when we exercise. A lot of times when we exercise, we want to eat more. We kind of get into this self-reward thing. You know what? I worked out this morning and I burnt 200 calories. I did this or that. So I deserve to eat more. And that's really the wrong approach. What we need to do is to know what our
BMR.
BMR is, about how many calories do we need in order to lose weight. So that's very important. And when you come into Alternative Health, we give you a little slip every time you come in after you stand on the Tanita, and it tells us what your BMR is. So in order to lose body fat, you need to be ingesting 500 calories less than your BMR. And that can be very tricky because especially for women. And the reason is a lot of times the BMR is low. It might be 1,300, which is a good number. And so you say, okay, 1,300, I need to cut my calories by 500. That means I need to eat 800 calories a day. Well, that can't work because as the human body, a female human body, must have at least 1,000 calories a day, good calories. So how do you lose weight? Well, that means you have to burn at least 200 calories and still keep your calorie count at 1,000 in order to be able to lose if you're looking for body mass size or to reduce fat mass. If you lose fat mass, you will lose size of the body. All right. If you're looking for endurance, so that you can walk through the mall without getting tired, you can, go on a hike. You need cardio as well, and you need again to burn calories. A lot of people have the Fitbits, and they track their steps and how many calories and etc. In order to know how many calories you are burning, everybody's different. If you weigh 120 pounds and you walk 2 miles, you are not going to burn as many calories as somebody that weighs 180 pounds walking the 2 miles. It also depends on speed, terrain, etc. So if you're walking up inclines, you're going to burn more calories than if you're walking flat or down. If you're looking for cardiovascular health, it's cardio. And a lot of people don't like cardio, but cardio is really the essence of keeping the heart, the blood flow moving. And that is so, so important.
Like I said, I got to work those 2 days.
Okay,
Monday,
we got somebody that's not on mute. Can we? Okay. If you're looking to improve your respiratory health, lungs, clear out lungs, maybe you get a lot of inflammation, phlegm, etc. It goes to cardio. Okay. So if you're looking for those kind of things, you'll notice that the calories is not there. Not everybody is in the world to say, I want to lose body fat. Yeah, I want to be healthy. That's basically the key to health. Okay. If you're looking for increased flexibility, then that would be stretching. Some people do yoga, some people don't care for yoga, but if you're looking for flexibility and or spinal alignment, then you need deep stretching. And I can't stress enough how important it is to stretch before you exercise of any form, whether it's cardio, whether it's weights, anything that you do, you need to stretch before you do it. And regardless of how light you might take it, you need to stretch. Also, you need to stretch after you're done. A lot of people exercise when they're done, they're done. Okay, I'm done. Well, the problem is when you do cardio, you're stretching a lot of the muscles. Even with weightlifting, you're stretching everything. if you don't stretch them out and keep and let yourself cool down, the muscles then contract. And that can cause a lot of other issues going on. And I know myself, for one, I used to have a tendency not to stretch. I would just get up, get dressed, go out for a run, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. And then when I was done, I just be done, go home, take a shower, go to work. And that is not healthy for the muscles. And muscles will, like I said, will contract. You'll end up with things like Charlie horses, overly tight muscles, and you'll actually lose a lot of flexibility. All right. Now, if you're looking to change the shape of your body, in other words, it's a little bit different than reducing fat mass. If you're trying to target different parts of the body, a lot of times, you want a better waistline. You want your shoulders, the pectorials, it's whatever it might be. That is lifting. And when I say lifting, we don't have to lift 100 pounds, but it's lifting in certain ways. And you can look up and see what areas of the body that you can work on, what exercises you can do to work on certain parts of the body. And then you need good protein. Protein builds muscle. Muscle burns fat. Okay. And again, if you want to increase your muscle mass, that means you're getting rid of body fat, because muscle burns fat. Again, it's weightlifting and protein. Increasing strength, weightlifting, and protein. And again, a lot of times people say, well, probably more women than men, I don't want to be bulked up. And I agree. Okay. But sometimes when you're sitting and watching TV, you can do things like taking a gallon jug of water and having it next to you and just lift those while you're sitting. And you can just sit and lift, just, do repetitions, 10, take a break, go to the other side, or do both sides at once. Take a break, cool down a little bit, and then do it again. And you want to do it in repetitions. So you don't want to do 100 of them and then stop. You want, say, when you're starting out, excuse me, you want to start with, say, 10. And then gradually you can increase. But if you overwork the muscle, just like anything else, you're going to stretch it, you're going to hurt yourself, and then we stop exercising because it hurts, and we don't want it to hurt. If you're looking to boost metabolism, which means burn extra body fat, you want weightlifting and then protein. Now, the important thing is that you do all of everything. You do cardio sometimes. You do deep stretching sometimes. Deep stretching can be actually the only exercise you do. If you spend a half an hour stretching different parts of the body, moving it around, stretching it out, that can be one day's worth of exercise, which is fine. But you don't want to get in the habit of always doing cardio, always doing weightlifting, and not anything else. You want to balance it. The body needs, just like the body needs all different kinds of foods, it needs all different kinds of the exercise, okay, to help all parts of the body. Okay, so how do we, a lot of times people say, well, how do I make this a habit? Okay, and the habit is you have to commit to something realistic. How many times have you heard people, New Year's Day, go to the gym, sign up, start working out, and by the 5th of January, they're done because they hurt. They, it's just hard. And like anything worthwhile, it's hard. So you need to get something realistic. You need to you need to block out time to do it. And then you need to plan that in your plan and make it a habit, just like you would make it a habit to do most anything else in our life, whether it's going to church, whether it's going out to dinner or whatever it might be. You've got to block out time. I always like to work out in the morning because that's when your metabolism is highest. When people work out sometimes at late after work, you're increasing your metabolism, and sometimes people will find it more difficult to sleep because you're building your blood flow, etc. But if that's the only time you can work out and have the time to do it, then that's when you do it. If you have children, sometimes you have to find time when they're doing other things, whether it be in school, whatever it might be, in order to find a realistic time. But you have to find the time and commit to it. The realistic workout plan, start with less and then build up. All right. Don't start saying, I've told many people when I do a consultation, don't go to the gym and start trying to think you're going to work and plan on running a marathon, because you're not, you're going to burn out. And the other thing is, a lot of times when we exercise alone, we get bored. It's mundane. It's, you get on the treadmill and it's boring. Try to find other people that want to work out with you, because then it becomes accountability. If two people are going to go for walks or hikes, we think to ourselves, okay, they're waiting on me. If I'm just going to go by myself, I think, well, you know what, today at the last minute, I don't feel like it. I think I'll just take the day off. And once we start taking the days off, guess what? We quit. It gets less and less. So you have to have the motivation. You have to understand why you're working out and doing those kind of things. Okay. You have to build up a frequency of doing it and alter your workouts, the variety, have your goals in mind and keep those goals in mind and understand. I get people to tell me, I've been working out a week and I don't see any change. Well, nothing is going to change immediately. And then you want to monitor your exercise and then make it a habit. All right. When it says reward yourself, it's not by eating more. It's not going saying, you know what, I'm going to have some ice cream because I've been working out so good. That is detrimental to your habit, and your health and every part of your body. So reward yourself by having maybe better food, good food. You want to compliment yourself, maybe buy yourself a new outfit or something that makes you just feel good without ingesting the unhealthy things through our body. Okay.
Reward yourself by scheduling a body wrap.
Yeah.
That's nice, relaxing, pampering, and also more beneficial to your body.
Okay. So routine, cardio recommended 2 to 3 times each week. Deep stretching 2 to 3 times each week. Weightlifting 2 to 3 times each week. Okay. So you've got 6 times, and sometimes you can do cardio and do a little bit of weightlifting. So it doesn't have to be each workout. It has to be cardio. It could be some cardio and some lifting or stretching, but you need to take time to rest. It's so important. When I hear people say, I work out 7 days a week without fail, oftentimes we overwork the body. We had an employee work with us one time who had to work out every single day. I mean, she would come to work in the mornings, and sometimes her hand would be she'd have a tape on her hand because her hand was bleeding. And I said, what happened? Oh, I did 100 pull-ups this morning. That's too much. Okay. She was very strong. She competes, but too much exercise is not healthy. Just like too much work isn't healthy, too much, any of that stuff is not healthy. You have to take time to let the body heal and recover both physically and mentally. All right. So always remember, it is not a 7-day ordeal. You've got to plan the rest days. And it doesn't have to be Saturday and Sunday. Some people, those days are better for them because they're not working or whatever. It can be any day, but you need to plan it and make out a work plan, write it down. And once it becomes a habit, it'll become a habit. And then you don't necessarily have to have a book to plan it. You can just say, you know what? Today is Tuesday. It's my rest day. It does not have to be 2 consecutive days. It can be a Monday and a Thursday. It doesn't really matter. But as long as you're working out those other 5 days and doing something, that's what is healthy. So the cardio, again, I go back to cardio. What is cardio? It does not have to be getting on a treadmill and running. It does not. It can be fun things. It can be running, okay, and it's any rhythmic activity that increases your heart rate. So whether it's biking, whether it's playing tennis, or what's that new game now they play? Pickleball, okay, something that can be fun. So exercise does not have to be painful. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, I got to go, I got to work out, etc. Hiking with friends and family. It can be getting on the treadmill. I find the treadmill extremely boring when I'm by myself, but I know that we have to do it. Somebody just said dancing. Absolutely. Okay, dancing. You can be vacuuming and dancing while you're vacuuming. Okay. I mean, turn the music up, enjoy, just get that cardio so that you know that your heart rate is up and you're feeling better. Swimming is probably one of the best exercises there is, simply because you're working every muscle in the body all the time, or other things you're not. Cardio, that can consist of, because of the resistance of water. If you're swimming, that can be almost like a weightlifting, and also stretching, because you are moving the arms and you're moving the legs and stuff like that. So again, exercise does not have to be the same thing all the time. So you want to get your heart rate up. And so you don't want to overdo it. If you're exercising cardio, or any exercise, to be honest, lifting or cardio, you need to, if you can't talk to somebody, then you're overdoing it. Your heart rate's too high. So if you're running, you're walking, doing power walks, and you feel like, you're with somebody, or you can't talk because you're working out, that's too much. You need to slow down. And everybody's different. So if you work out with people that go faster than you think that you can, you need to ask them to slow down until you can build up enough endurance to do it. Don't get in the habit of saying, well, they're going a lot faster, I have to keep up. I know there's times when Patty and I, once in a while, we get together and on the bike trail and we'll walk. And sometimes I have to say, am I going too fast? And sometimes she'll go, yeah, a little bit. Okay. So I need to slow down, not tell her to speed up, because it is just a difference in the way our body is built. I have longer legs, et cetera, et cetera. So we have to understand that. Don't be afraid to tell somebody, I need to slow down. All right. We're not into exercise to burn the heart out. We're into exercise to get healthy and just take care of ourselves, cardiovascular wise. So what are the benefits of cardio? Well, first of all, it'll lower blood pressure. Somebody who does a lot of cardio, when I used to run all the time and they would do my blood pressure, first thing they would ask me, are you a runner? And I go, yes, because my blood pressure was low. And that's okay, as long as you're doing that kind of workouts. It takes pressure off the heart. And the heart doesn't have to work so hard. It lowers cholesterol. So a lot of times when people say, or doctors say, well, your cholesterol level is getting too high, cardio, walking, hiking, that will actually reduce cholesterol. It reduces obviously the risk of heart disease because your heart isn't working as hard. It'll help decrease the risk of diabetes and or strokes. Obviously, it helps to maintain weight because you're increasing your metabolism. Again, nutrition, I talked about that a little bit. You know, you want healthy nutrition. Don't treat yourself to garbage because you're exercising. Cardio will decrease your stress levels, increase your moods. Your spouses, your friends will be much happier if your mood changes to the better. Efficiency will improve as you go along. Your endurance will improve, and because you're improving your blood flow, etc. And obviously you're reducing the risk of heart issues. So that's the benefits of cardio. But you know, you have to understand, like everything else, there's side effects. All right. So when you exercise, it has been known to cause good health and happiness. So that's the side effect of a healthy, consistent, proper exercise routine. Okay, so deep stretching, some examples. All right. Different things, simple things. When you stretch, you want to hold it. You don't want to just reach and grab your tip of your shoes. I touch my toes and that's it. You want to be able to reach, hold it for anywhere from, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and hold that stretch, because that will increase the flexibility of the muscle. And if you just reach one time and say, okay, I did that, etc. And any of those things that you're looking at right now, and you need to do it and you need to hold. All right. So if you want to take a picture of this, set 1 to 2 minutes is what they recommend for each stretch. And you don't want to stretch to the point where you hurt yourself. But what you want to do is each time you exercise, keep it mentally how much pressure you put on, how long you held it, and how deep you stretch, and try to increase that little by little by little. I know when I started stretching, there were some things I really struggled with because my muscles weren't flexible. And as I said earlier, I used to do nothing but run. That was my thing. And I didn't stretch. So the muscles became very tight. They became very inflexible. So I needed to do things, and I found myself not being able to do it. But that's okay. As long as you do something and you're constantly improving that particular stretch that you're doing. But again, hold it. Don't let it go, but don't do it to the point where you're going to rip a muscle or something like that. Your body will tell you that's as far as I can go right now. And that's okay. All right. So if you're doing the, I don't know, the lunge or something like that, or the sleeping pigeon, and you can't get that leg completely underneath you, that's okay. Just do as much as you can, hold it, let it go, do it again 2 or 3 times. And then each time your days for stretching, you want to keep a mental note of how much did I do before? And can I do just a little bit more each time? And pretty soon you'll find yourself being able to do things that you didn't think you could do, or your muscles would tolerate or allow you to do.
And make sure you're breathing when you're stretching. Don't hold your breath. You need to breathe, get that oxygen into those muscles. So there's 5 muscle groups that should be stretched daily, and they help with posture. Okay, and just how our body ages. So the low back muscles, and that can help with that butterfly and the forward fold. Your pectorals, your chest muscles, and those twists, the easy twists and the downward dog can help with that. Your hamstrings, your hip flexors, and your glutes. So all those, the pigeon, the quad stretch, the runner stretch, all the rest of them help with those. It's just breathing is so important.
And that was excellent that you brought up breathing. Because a lot of times when people do anything that's strenuous, what do we have a tendency to do? We have a tendency to hold our breath. And that's the worst thing you can do. So when you start the exercise, the best thing to do is take a deep breath, hold it, get into your position, and as you feel the muscles stretch, release slowly the oxygen from your lungs. And then as you breathe, you want to breathe deep, let it out slow. And what you'll do when you do that, when you take a deep breath and you let it out slow, you'll find the muscles will relax, and you can actually do just a little bit more while you're doing it. Because like Patty said, you're getting oxygen into the muscle. All right. And in all of our offices, we have a machine that's called a Chi machine, which helps to oxygenate cells. So if you're, when you come in, I let people do it free because it's so beneficial, and it will actually help oxygenate cells. So when you do exercise, you got more oxygen within the muscle. Just like your lungs, heart, we need oxygen in the muscles in order for them to properly work. So lifting, it's nothing more than resistant training, okay? Resistant training is something that is resistant, and it doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be the 100 pounds. Even for guys think, you know what? Oh, I'm going to lift. I'm going to be lifting, I need to lift X number of weight. No, you don't need to. Lighter, more repetitions is a better way to go than trying to say, I'm going to lift 200 pounds and I'm going to get on the barbell and do 10 of these. You're going to hurt yourself. Light weights, different exercises, work different muscles. So like the lady in the lower bottom, that's a lightweight. And sometimes you can take it and just lift straight up. Other times you can just keep them down to your side and bring them, your arms up straight out. And that works on different muscle groups, different things. So you want to alternate as you work out the different muscle groups and not just do the same thing over and over. The bands are excellent. They're easy. You can have them at home before you get up in the morning, and before you go to work or whatever you might do. You can take the bands. I have one that I use at home, and I stand on it, and I can lift, I can stretch it out, I can do forward, backward, etc. And it helps the muscles. So again, it's inexpensive, but it's extremely healthy, extremely healthy. And you don't have to work until you break into a sweat. You can just do it. If you have the bands, you can have them at work. When you take a break, a lunch break, whatever, you can do that and take a few minutes here and there. So if you don't have other time, but as much as you can do, that's what you want to do. Okay. What again is the benefits of resistant training? Again, is basically the same thing, helps the heart, decreases the risk of injury to joints when you are doing other things. It helps the muscle strength. It helps to burn body fat because muscle burns fat. And it actually helps the brain. It helps every part of the body, better stamina. It can lower the risk of chronic pain, mobility, obviously, bone density. You know, a lot of times I had a call the other night from somebody who was talking about osteopenia. Well, resistant training will actually help with bone health. So that reduces the risk of osteoporosis. And how many times have you heard people say, oh, you know, I used to be 5'9", now I'm 5'6". Well, that's because we're not working and letting the body oxygenate itself and help to heal the muscles and the bones, etc. It'll help correct posture, etc., and good health and well-being, both mentally and physically. Okay. So why are rest days important? Obviously, it prevents injury. Just like everything else, our mind needs to rest. So do our muscles. We don't want to do it all the time. You know, it can affect sleep. If you overdo it, you can actually hurt yourself. The immune system doesn't become overheated or overexhausted. The brain starts healing. It'll help with foggy brain, memory, etc. Cover that?
No, this one. Oh, what to do on your recovery day?
Yeah.
So you can still do some light cardio, go for a walk,
Sure.
you know, do a little bit of stretching. The mobility and flexibility. So even, you know, if you're at your desk and, you know, like John said, you take a break, you just stand up. We sit so much, stand up, you know, stretch yourself, arms up, stand up on your toes and back down on your heels, and, you know, get some circulation in your lower legs from sitting all the time. You can get a massage on your rest days, come in and do a body wrap, do a foot bath, go to a sauna, have an Epsom salt bath, go to the float place, you know, go to the float in East Hampton or the place in West Hartford and, you know, float for an hour, meditate, which is something that we all should be doing every day. And it just helps to refuel. Just take a break, but you know, you can do nothing, but you can also do something like one of these choices just to keep your body going.
And we're not saying your rest day, just sleep all day and to recover, okay?
Right.
Meditation, prayer, okay? It's huge for me. I feel that we need to take more time to meditate, to pray, to calm our mind and our body. And those are some of the things that you can do a little bit more of on your rest days. We should be doing it every day, but refuel the body, let the body heal, love your body, work it, take care of it just like you would your children, your grandchildren, or your spouse, whatever it might be. Love your body that way so that you take care of it. Too many people say, I'm so busy taking care of the other people, my kids, my spouse, my whomever it might be, parents, whatever. But we have to understand that we have to take care of ourselves. If we don't, we get into trouble. Okay. The body will only take so much of go, where we have to slow down a little bit and take some time to let our body heal and relax. Listen to some good music, that type of thing, where something you enjoy doing. Turn off the news.
Absolutely.
Resting days are not to turn the news on and see what's happening in the world. When we do that, we become stressed. Okay, no doubt about it.
Yep.
So no matter which side of the aisle you're on, turn it off,
Mhm.
give yourself a break.
As she said, meditation is amazing, especially for anxiety.
Amen.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, so nutrition. If you're working out later in the day, 2 hours before workout, you can have a solid meal, but you don't want to eat right up to the time you work out. Don't eat dinner and then go to the gym or say, I'm going to go for a jog or whatever. Sometimes people say, well, after I eat, I'm going to go for a power walk. That's not right after you eat. If you're going to do that, then within 2 hours of your workout, you want low fiber foods and or liquids only, something that will digest, because when we eat solid, the body has to break it down and metabolize it. And therefore that takes a lot of energy. And then you start exercising. Sometimes it can be too much for the body. When you're working out, liquids only, water, that type of thing. Before meals, the instant meals are good because they're high protein, but it's liquid. So after workouts, you want liquid. I see people go to the gym and they go get a bagel, okay, with cream cheese or whatever, because they think that's going to help the body recover. Wrong. After workout, immediately following, you want protein, because whether you do cardio, weightlifting, or you do stretching, protein helps to build muscle and heal the muscles. It is not carbohydrates or sugar. Sugar will give you some energy, but it's the wrong type of energy. And then if you work out, that's when you want to go to your about an hour or so after, then eat the solid foods, because the body will be rested after the workout and then it can do the digestion process. So if you're going to work out, you either want to eat your solid food a couple hours before workout or wait at least 60 minutes post workout to eat. So you'll notice that out of the 5, 3 of them are liquids only. Okay. Why? Easy to digest. Easy to digest. And that's why it's so important. So some of the examples that I recommend: Heart Healthy helps the cardiovascular system. The
Heart Healthy is good for pre-workout because it's going to oxygenate your blood and get a good healthy blood flow going. So the Heart Healthy right before you work out
and that's
is really good.
Perfect. And it tastes good too.
Yeah, it does.
So, I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta ingest this. So do think about stuff like that. Okay. Water is good. But right before, you want nutrients. Okay. That fuels the body, but you want nutrients that is easily digested.
Okay. All right. We have the plan. Let's do this. Who's going to work out tomorrow or tonight? I like to work out in the morning.
I'm a morning workout too. I can't. Once I'm done for the day, I'm done. Okay.
Liz is ready. She raised her hand. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Okay.
All right. Ready?
So I want to ask questions on workouts. Who has any questions about what we talked about as far as exercise, that type of thing? Let's go to our main screen, or people screen, I should say.
There we go.
Okay, who has questions? Go ahead, Carlene. Did you have your hand up?
Yes, but I didn't have a question.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. That's what you get for putting your hand up.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Anybody have a question?
I have a question on when you exercise, how much more water should you drink?
Good question.
Excellent question. It's all dependent upon what you're doing and how much exertion you're putting on your body. Okay. But definitely, you need more water than what you would think. So when you think about water, you want to drink, uh, half of your weight in ounces, whether you every day. So when you work out, depending on the amount, you want to increase that, I would say by at least 10%, because everybody's different. Again, if you weigh 110 pounds, it's different than if you weigh 180 pounds. We just have to understand that it's all about the body. So I would say I'm looking at Heather there. So if her and her husband work out together, he needs more extra water because he's bigger, heavier than Heather is. Okay. So it's all dependent upon how much you're doing, how much you're sweating. But even if on hot days, muggy days, you still need more water than you would on a cool winter day, that type of thing. And cold water is not the best thing. You want room temperature water is the best to drink because the body doesn't have to use energy to heat it. I don't know if that answers your question, Georgiana, or not, but
well, if you're working out 30 minutes, say cardio or whatever,
uh-huh.
How many more ounces? Like,
Okay. Well,
for
it
a
depends.
150
If you're,
pound
but
person?
if your cardio is you're going out and you're running 2 miles, okay, in that 30 minutes, then you're going to need more water than if you do a walk and you walk, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile. All right. It just depends on, listen to your body. Your body will tell you if you're thirsty. Listen to it, but I would at least increase by at least a minimum of 10% of what you normally would drink.
10% would be how much?
Well, again, depends on, and I'm going to use somebody that weighs 200 pounds. Normally they would drink 100 ounces. So that would be another 10 ounces minimum.
10%
And
of weight. Okay.
yeah. So when I used to run and do 6, 7, 8, 9 miles, then I would have to increase my water intake a lot. But when Patty and I go for a walk for an hour, I don't need it to increase my water as much as I did when I would, run like that.
Okay. That's
Anybody
quite a
else have
lot
a
of
question?
water for 8 miles.
Excuse me?
That's quite a lot of water for 8 miles.
Well, it is, but we just have to understand that the more exertion we put on our body, the more toxins we're getting rid of, more flushing we're doing. So we need the water to help flush that out. And that's the whole purpose of water.
All right, we have another question. She couldn't seem to get it on chat, so she emailed it to us. So how can one exercise when having issues with legs and pain? I fell a week ago trying to walk slowly on the sidewalk.
Okay. Well, then you want to adjust you're not going to do as much walking cardio. You can do other things like, well, if you have a bike, you can get on a bike. If your legs hurt, you can do more stretching than you would cardio to start out to get the muscles loose. Pain can come from tight muscles, and understand the more discomfort we feel in our body, the less we want to exercise. It's the brain says, I hurt, my legs hurt, so I'm not going to walk. The problem with that is then the muscles become lazy and they don't get stretched out. So we need the body to continually stretch. Even when we don't feel well, we still need to stretch out the muscles and do something. So I would say to that person, do more stretching, okay? Do more, if you want to sit down and like I mentioned earlier, lift a jug of water and do that with your arms and upper body, those kind of things. Because as you heal the body, it'll heal everything. You might say, well, that's not going to help my leg pain. That's not true, because the more we exercise, the better health our body becomes. And all those things can help heal all parts of the body, not just the area that we have pain. Anybody else have a question?
Hey, John, it's Dawn.
Can we? Yes.
It's Dawn. I just wanted to add to the person that talked about walking on the sidewalk with pain. A lot of times walking on a sidewalk, because the concrete is so hard, it does add to the pain that you feel in your knees or in your legs when you walk on the sidewalk. So sometimes walking in a park or walking on a school track is a lot easier on your joints than walking on the sidewalk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or if you can walk on grass, you're absolutely right. Cement, runners that run are taught, try to find soft areas that is not so hard and pounding on the legs. And especially if we're carrying too much weight, every time you take a step, all that weight is coming down on your legs and your knees and your ankles and hips. So yes, that's a great thing that you just mentioned.
And another thing, if you're, in pain, if you're unsteady, if walking on the grass, lumpy grass isn't going to be helpful to you, get walking sticks, hiking poles. It's people walk down the street with hiking poles. Nothing wrong with that. And it helps you keep your balance.
Exactly. And don't overdo it. Don't go too fast. Slow down. If you're hurting, slow down. Take shorter steps. Those kind of things. When we hurt, we don't help ourselves. Okay, but we still have to do things. Can we lose electrolytes if we drink too much water? Well, we normally lose electrolytes if we overly sweat and we don't replace the electrolytes. Okay. And how do you replace electrolytes? Good solid protein called amino acids getting into the body. We hear too much about athletes drinking Gatorades to replace. That is wrong. That's all sugar. It is not good electrolytes. Electrolytes come from healthy calories, healthy protein. Liquid protein is better to replace it than sitting down eating a steak or something like that. But in order to lose electrolytes, you have to do a lot of sweating. Okay, so most of us are not going to be exercising to the point where we're just sweating that much and we're losing all the electrolytes in our body. So I would say I would not worry about drinking too much water for 99% of us. What's the best cardio to break up the mucus? Oops, what was the rest of it? Mucus, but not pushed too far for people that have asthma. Okay. People that have asthma and exercise, they say, I can't exercise because I have asthma. The problem is we're allowing the mucus to stay in the lungs. When you exercise, and because you're deep breathing, because you're supposed to breathe while you exercise, it'll lift the mucus out of the lungs and try to get rid of it. And that's what makes us feel like can't breathe, we're going to choke, whatever. What you want to do then, you want to slow down your exercise, but still allow the body to get rid of the waste, the mucus that's in our body. If we just take inhalers, we're just shoving it back in our body. And the other problem with that is inhalers are steroids, and steroids are detrimental to the body. So by not exercising when we have asthma or breathing issues is not healthy. But again, it's like the leg pain. If my feet and legs hurt, I don't want to do exercise because it hurts. If I have asthma or breathing issues, I don't want to exercise because it makes me cough. It makes me, my chest might feel tight, whatever. But that's part of the healing process. But you can't overdo it. Just like the person with the foot problems or leg problems, you can't overdo it because you're going to end up hurting yourself because you have that. So you need to slow it down and look for a different exercise. But I would say somebody with asthma, I'd start out with a good stretching. Okay. Get the muscles where you're not overdoing, exerting yourself, but you want that mucus, you want that stuff out of your body, because that is why so many people have asthma. Any other questions? Gone.
Those are all great questions.
They were. Heather, was that okay?
That was excellent.
Thank you.
I appreciated the pictures and the points about deep stretching. So that gives me something to work on, and resistance training. So it was really good, informative.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the topic.
Yes. Ashley, can you hear us now? Can't believe
There she
you're
is.
quiet.
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is Ashley. I want everybody, say hello to everybody, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm new to alternative health.
Welcome.
Nice to meet all of you guys. I'm
Nice
sure
to
I
meet
called
you.
some of you already.
And you'll be hearing more from her. Like I said, we were so pleased with her thus far, and I know it'll continue in the future. So we're delighted to have her,
Mhm.
and I can't say enough good things. Okay.
Really well.
And of course, Liz, I think, is somewhere on here. Liz,
Yep,
are you
she's
still with us?
still there.
Okay. Want to say hello again?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, good. Karen, are you there somewhere?
Yep. sure.
Oh, there she is in the car. Okay.
Hello,
Are you driving?
can you hear me? No,
Yes,
I'm
we can
not
hear
driving.
Okay,
I'm in my car, but yeah.
okay. All right, good, good. Just want everybody to say hello so everybody sees everybody. Okay, I am going to move into something that I want to talk about. And I'm not talking about this for looking for sympathy or anything else. I want to talk about it because it's about health. And in our lives, we have things that happen to us. Okay. I look at the screen, I see Carlene, and Carlene has had so many things happen over the course of the years that I've known her. And sometimes, no matter how hard we work, things happen. And I experienced a issue, which I'm gonna tell you what happened, and then I'm gonna tell you, kind of walk through it and tell you how good health saved the day. It was early May, and some of you haven't seen me for a while because of some issues. It was early May, and one day I went to use a bathroom to urinate, and the urine was like a deep orange. It was in during the day, and I was baffled. I was like, that can't be right. I mean, I drink water. Everybody that knows me, I carry water with me. I won't drive to the post office or the bank. There's a short trip without my water with me. Okay. So I thought I can't be dehydrated. But like anything else, we have a tendency to ignore it, which, it wasn't a cause of saying, okay, this is something I need to go see somebody about immediately. It continued on. And then I started having itchy skin. The skin started itching really bad. So again, I was like, why am I sensitive why is my skin sensitive? I take proper nutrients, I eat right, etc. And so then the skin started to burn. And so being a veteran, I went to the VA and they said, they did blood work and they said, your what is called bilirubin. Okay. And bilirubin is a chemical in our body that is supposed to be processed through the liver. And they said the liver is not processing the bilirubin. Of course, I said, why? Why is it doing? We don't know. So they did a ultrasound. And after they did ultrasound, they said, we don't know what's going on, so we're going to refer you to Bay State. So I went to Bay State, and by this time, I wasn't sleeping. I ultimately went through almost 2 months of about anywhere from a half an hour to an hour and a half asleep a night. That's all I could get. Okay. I tossed, I turned, I couldn't function. Just everything started going wrong. So I went to Bay State, and Bay State did all kinds of blood work. And every doctor came back and said, you are 100% healthy. Probably the healthiest person I've ever seen. Every reading in your body is perfect. I got to the point where I got sick and tired of hearing how healthy I was because I couldn't sleep. My skin was itching. It turned yellow, jaundice. And
Lost weight.
I started losing a lot of weight. Okay. Ultimately, I went from 207 to 174 within 2.5, 3 months. All right. When I would eat, I would break out into a sweat. I would itch. So my mind said, if you itch and you sweat when you eat, I don't want to eat. Kind of like having your feet hurt and you don't want to walk. Okay. So you just say, I'm not going to eat. So I quit eating a lot. Still did my instant meals, still did my, what we call our supers, which is a heart healthy and all that. So Bay State had me in the hospital for 4 days, I believe. And they kept coming back saying, we don't know what's wrong. You're completely healthy. So we're going to refer you to Leahy Clinic in Boston to put you on a list for liver transplant. And I said, liver transplant? Aren't we kind of, that seems weird if everything else is healthy. Well, it's not processing the bilirubin. And so I went to Leahy Clinic. They took vials and vials of blood. Patty told me I should turn into a vampire to get some back, but they came back and said, you don't need a liver transplant. Your liver's fine. And by that time I was so frustrated, to be told all this stuff happening, then all of a sudden told you need a liver transplant, then going to the place where they evaluate that, saying you don't need it, you're healthy. I had so many doctors tell me, you're completely healthy. What do you do? So they started asking me all these questions. How much do you drink? I said, if I average 2 drinks a month, that's a lot. Smoking, never smoked. Illicit drugs. I've never taken an illicit drug in my life. What about across the counter, aspirin, Tylenol? Those things can do it. And I'm saying, okay, well, to myself, why do you always prescribe these things if it can, if that could be the cause of this? So, but I said for 20 plus years, 23 years, I have not taken anything across the counter. Zero. I must have had in the last month and a half, 50 people ask me the same questions: drugs, alcohol, smoking, etc. And I sometimes think they don't believe me, but then when they do the blood work, they say your blood is pure, it's clean, there's nothing in it. It's just your liver's not processing this, what they call bilirubin. So I said, I need to sleep. So they started giving me stuff to sleep, and everything would make me nauseous and make it worse. I started taking something that worked for me, what made me sleep, and I started feeling so much better. I mean, just so much better. But then they came back and said, well, we think you should take this medication to sleep. And that was last Friday. I took it and I got so sick. And Saturday, I was working and I had to leave early. And anybody that's worked with me, for me, knows I never leave early. Okay. I know Taryn was here and Ashley was here, and I just told them I have to go. I can't, I just left. My personality is not to let people know stuff when it comes to my issues. It's the way I've always been. But my mind said, you know what? I work hard to help people get well, and I'm having trouble staying well. So that really bothered me. As my skin got more and more yellow over the time, more weight loss, people were saying, oh, you lost weight. You've lost too much weight. And I would say, oh, yeah, trying to be healthy, et cetera, et cetera. So I just kind of flossed it over. And so in Sunday, my sister took me to Mass General in Boston, and they admitted me over the weekend. And talking to doctors, they said, if you hadn't have been so healthy when this happened, you probably would not have lived. You would have had a heart attack, you would have had a stroke, something would have happened because of the chemical that the liver wasn't processing. So my point is, we don't know things that happen, but I do know that we have to be healthy to prevent and prepare ourselves for when things happen. Too many people take it lightly that, oh, I feel good, I can do this, I can do that, I don't have to worry about it. That's wrong. We have to worry about it. It's our health, it's our life. Okay. As an update, my body is healing. The numbers are coming way down. Your bilirubin range, the good range is from 0.01 to 2.1. Mine got up to 32. Okay. And nobody can tell me why. The thing that they wanted me to do was take all kinds of medicine. Some I did try, and I kept telling him, this medicine just constipates me horrible. I can't do it. They would say, well, take it, and then we'll give you another medicine to help the constipation. But that medicine will make you feel achy, your joints will hurt, and you'll feel nauseous for 2 or 3 days. I said, I'm not doing that, period. I'm not going to go that direction, because it's kind of like when I put people on programs in the first couple of days, we're pulling toxins out of the body. When your body's healthy and you put garbage or medications or whatever toxins in your body, you're going to feel the same way as you felt when you were taking everything out. Okay. So doctors do not know how to deal with people that are overall healthy. They deal with people that are sick. Okay, which I understand that. My point of telling you this is two reasons. Number one, I like to be upfront with people and let them know what's going on. Number two is that I want to tell people and just express how important it is to get your body healthy and make sure it stays healthy. Don't kid yourself and think that you can just let go of the rope and everything will be fine. Okay? We always hear about people that seem to be healthy and all of a sudden they're gone. And it's things like this that make that happen because they're not otherwise healthy and little things the body doesn't deal with. And then it breaks everything down. All right. The one thing that I have realized that I need to do, and I preach it all the time to everybody, but I need to do more of it, is I need to back up a little bit and slow down. My schedule has been for years working anywhere from 65 to 70 hours a week because I like to be there for people and take care of them. Many days I would be in all three offices in one day. If people would call and say, I need to see you, and I said, okay, I'll meet you at 6, 7 o'clock at night, I would do it because I felt I wanted to help people. And sometimes we forget about ourselves. Okay. We have to remember to take care of ourselves. And everybody on this screen has heard me say, take care of yourself. But sometimes caregivers don't do it. And that's the unfortunate thing. So I am going to back up a little bit. We're not closing. We're not anything like that. So I don't want anybody to think that. But I want people to understand that I can't do the schedule I've been doing. I have to let my body heal. I'm not on any medications. The numbers are coming down. As long as I get plenty of rest, everything works fine. If I don't get the rest, the body starts to change. The great thing is the color of urine is going back to normal. It's not nearly as much itching. The doctors told me that it could take months to get rid of all the discoloration and get rid of all the itching and stuff like that. So that's, to me, the great news. And again, I say all this to, I can't stress enough. I want you to be well, and I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to tell your family members when they don't take care of themselves that they need to. If you want your friends, family to be on this earth and be healthy, we have to take care of ourselves and prepare ourselves for the inevitables that can happen down the road. Okay. So I wanted to share all that with you and just be upfront. And Patty is my biggest cheerleader on it and doing it right. She is she's restricted me from going from office to office. I felt so bad. Just so you know, I thought I was going to die. I prepared for it. I actually wrote my obituary. I gave it to Patty. I sat her and my sister down and went over everything about the business, and Patty is great. She stepped up and she can do anything that personally I can do. But we both decided, you know what? I got to start thinking I'm at an age now where I just got to say, reduce the stress, reduce your hours a little bit, and take care of yourself so I can be here to take care of other people. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share. I am thinking about closing one of the offices in time because running 3 offices is really a lot of work. And but I have to make some changes. Okay. So did I cover everything?
I think so.
Okay. And Patty's sitting here with almost tears in her eyes. She has been a cheerleader. She's been, her and I worked together for 18 years. I know it's put a lot of stress on her, and I thank her for everything. And I'm sorry, I keep telling her I'm sorry for putting this stress on you. And she keeps telling me not to say that, but I can't help it. And she's wiping her eyes now. So.
Why do you think I'm off camera?
Okay, so I wanted to share that for not looking for anything except prayers. I love prayers. Okay, so if you find in your heart to say an extra prayer, I greatly appreciate it. But getting better, feeling better, and I apologize to anybody who I haven't seen for a while or I seem like I disappeared, but I had to step back. Okay. So. All right. If anybody has any questions, you can always talk to me. Is there anything else you would like to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I think I saw, did I see Judy sign on early on?
Judy Spalding's on.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, she's on right there.
Oh, Judy. Okay. Let me add her to the list. Okay. So
They're sending prayers now.
thank you. Okay. We're gonna do our drawings. Again, you have to be here to win. I give away 4 prizes every month. And I'm gonna ask